Hello, everyone. Before we get started, I just wanted to jump in real quick and announce that we are kicking 2022 off with a bang. And by with a bang, I mean with a bunch of mistakes. So Patrick's audio doesn't sound normal, and my audio just stopped recording, and we didn't do a backup because we were overconfident. So I then jump in the edit in real time. You'll hear it when we get to the food portion. Anyways, I just want to let you know we're actually really excited about 2022, regardless of all these mistakes. And I'm just going to treat this like theater people treat their dress rehearsal, where if the dress rehearsal is atrocious, then the rest of the show is going to be good. I think that is right. Anyways, here's the show. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Janchi Show. This is a show where we talk about stocks.
Right into it.
We're all losing money.
Yeah. And that was such a monotone entrance.
Yeah, I know.
For a financial show.
That's pretty accurate because it's got a lot of ups and downs.
New year, new us. Finances.
Yep. This is what do we do with them? How do we
pay our bills this year?
How can I make more money?
One of my 2022 goals is to increase my income. Right here.
Oh, nice.
So this is a good reason for us to talk about it.
Okay.
How do I increase that?
You're listening to the Janchi Show, hosted by three Korean American adoptees diving headfirst into what it means to be adopted, Korean American, and more. And now, here's your hosts, Nathan, Patrick, and KJ.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back, or your first time, welcome to the Janchi Show. We are your hosts, Nathan, KJ, and Patrick, here ready for the new year, feeling glamorous, right?
Woo-hoo. Happy New Year again. 6 days later, I guess.
A little bit. We can talk about it, though.
Patrick's feeling a little glamorous, not 100% glamorous.
We'll talk about it.
All right.
Yeah, we're the Janchi Boys, and we're the Janchi stuff because Janchi means the feast to celebrate.
We're the Janchi stuff.
we got Janchi stuff.
We're going through a total partial rebrand.
Janchi stuff, 입니다.
we took a little break, so it was a little weak or a little rusty because we're coming back to it after a week.
Don't tell people that.
No, but we already told people that.
We did tell them we were taking a break.
And everybody, I'm sure, was waiting for the drop last Wednesday, and they were like, "Oh yeah."
I know. I about went on and did like a little video on Instagram, and just didn't have time, and also didn't really want to.
Wow. All right.
Okay.
You know what's crazy though is I forgot that it was Wednesday, and then some of my other podcasts that I listen to that drop on Wednesday popped on, and I was like, oh yeah. I don't know. There's such a rhythm around for me. Podcast episode drops and what day of the week it is, and I'm like, actually, you know what? I did kind of miss having an episode and all that kind of stuff.
Well, normally I get the pod page email that the episode has went live about 6:15, right after it goes up, or a little bit after. Wait, what was I doing on Wednesday?
That was yesterday.
I don't remember.
By the way.
Oh yeah, what was I doing yesterday? I have no idea.
That was yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Well, yesterday is the time of recording.
Yeah.
A week ago.
Guys,
technically a week ago.
Time flies. I mean, honestly, 2021 flew by so fast. And
it also took about 12 years.
The same time for some. I guess it depends on the topic that you're thinking about too. I mean, certain things did take forever, and other things flew by. If that makes sense.
Well, I think we talked about it kind of on the intro of the last episode and the last solo episode, just feeling like 2021 was a lot and a lot of stuff happened. But going back to feeling glamorous as we enter into 2022, usually in the new year, you feel a little bit refreshed. You feel some glamour. You feel like you're ready to start a whole nother 365. And I didn't feel that. After the new year and just the few days after that, I've been feeling honestly, it's just been carryover, not even from 21, but 2020. And it just feels and I think maybe it's because I've been doing so many things and not really giving myself a break. But, we went on our break, and then I went to a Christmas, another Christmas. Then we flew to Salt Lake and did Christmas, and then came back Wednesday, but didn't get home till midnight. Then I went and led the Christian Hall Vigil in Indianapolis. And then we had New Year's, and we had just a couple people over and played some games. That was fun. We were up till 3. And then I had to go to a wedding, which was fun and fine and done safely, especially in the midst of Omicron. And then I had to go to work the following day. It was like I had no time to really get refreshed or really recharge. Like as fun as San Diego, as fun as Salt Lake was, and how much fun we had there. It was just, it's honestly really felt like a ton of weight has been added onto it. So I haven't had the opportunity to really recharge. So when I said earlier that I was like, feeling okay, maybe not feeling so glamorous. That's kind of what I was alluding to. It's just that it really feels like it's not been 2 years since the pandemic started. And it's just like, yikes.
I hear you. The extension of like 2021, like it's not really 2022 yet. It still
right.
feels,
That's what I feel. Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. And not only that, because Omicron has kind of taken over, like, you know, the variants in the news and just the neighborhoods in general. For us, we've been surrounded by it. We have dodged Omicron bullets left and right. We've had people that were going to come over and visit us. And then we said, no, let's be safe and just do a thing. Well, 3 days later, they tested positive for Omicron. So then our nanny, she was supposed to come by and, you know, start taking care of our kids again. Same thing. That the day before she came over, she says, actually, I got Omicron too. So it's just like, wow, what if we'd waited an extra day and she had actually come over? Would we have gotten it? So it feels like we're back at the very beginning of it again, where we're just trying to hide out and not go anywhere, cook all our food. And then on top of that, kids go back to school and we're like, oh, great. And I hear the schools are just swamped with it. And I have friends in California who say their schools are like half full because of it. So,
well, y'all were, as a family, just dealing with a lot of sickness in general in 2021. I felt like it kept getting hit by certain things.
Couple things at the end of the year for sure. Yeah.
But you guys were dealing with some fires too, right?
Yeah.
Out in your area?
So yeah, for anyone who knows about that, we were 8 miles away from the Marshall Fire, the one that took out Superior and some of the local cities, Louisville and some other areas over there. The fires just came so quickly, and it was pretty bad. We even saw it start, or the smoke start, and we're like, oh, there's a fire. And then, you know, a few hours later, we're like, oh, fire's getting bigger. And it was so quick. And it was scary, and brought back flashbacks, actually, because we did actually evacuate in California due to a fire as well back in 2017. So we were like, I thought we were going
Y'all can't get away.
Avoid that. Yeah. But so, yeah, we feel really sad for all the houses that were lost. Over 600 houses were burned. Families right on, you know, on New Year's Eve, they don't have any place to go. And on top of that, the next day it was freezing, snowed, you know, 6 to 8 inches. So it was like one day too late.
I want to apologize that I kind of took us from the glamour of that KJ brought in and just immediately said, let's turn it down, like maybe on negative 12 notches, and just be really down as we enter 2022. I apologize.
No, I mean, I think that, you know, that's where we are. And I think that the things that y'all are talking about, and whether it's your headspace or just like life happening, I think it's where we all are.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is weird to go into a new year and have a lot of like New Year's tropes and or trite sayings, you know, enter into our minds. And then I think the cognitive dissonance of being like, I know that this is like supposed to be a new year, but like, I don't want to. And then the dumb internet manifesting 2020 again, with that stupid meme that apparently was floating around.
2022?
Yeah, exactly. Like
2020 part 3, that's what I like to call it.
Yeah, it's 2020 the Redux.
The Redux.
Revisited.
Yeah.
The Redux revisited.
The year of change, 7. The year of intention, and the year of more again.
Yeah, I was going to say my word for the year shifted because like when we were recording last year, and I was trying to think about this, I was just like shooting from the hip, and, you know, that felt okay. And then Sarah and I had some time to sit down and talk and think about, well, we had a drive between like our apartment and our mother her mom's house to talk. It was like 10 minutes. But I asked her what her word was. And I think my word for this year is going to be balance. Because I know that there are a lot of things that I want to add to my plate, but I also know that there have to be things that I take off of my plate or find a way to create more time. And balance is always an active word for me. It's like, standing on a 2x4 on top of a ball and trying to stay upright. Like, it's a very active state of being. It's not like the super zen, chilling, meditating type balance. So I think just being wise to what I want to add to my plate, what things have to be reduced, thinking about, especially for me, like work-life balance. I'm learning a lot about what it means to be a web developer and how that changes relationships and how even my wife and I communicate. It's all new rhythms. And so that I think is going to be my word for this year. And in the midst of that, hoping to still accomplish a bunch of things. So, yeah.
I like that. I think balance is so hard or difficult to find sometimes, especially when you're motivated or invigorated to try a lot of new stuff. I think this show is exactly that. And it's incredible that we've stuck with it this long, but also as we become a bigger part of the community or more involved with the community, there's so many opportunities coming out of every single direction that it's really difficult sometimes to say no, and I think if I had a subsection of word that I was going to do, I think balance would be a good one for me as well, because I think, I struggle with that a lot. I have a list of goals here to my left, and one of them I wrote was being present in my relationships. And I took that from you, KJ, because I think that was the last solo episode we did. You had talked about because we talked about being terrible about giving gifts.
Yes.
And you had brought that up, and I like that. And I think that is part of that balance, not taking on or doing so many things where you now are lacking or falling behind in those relationships, whether it be friendships or with our spouses or whoever, which I think can be really easy to do if you're not mindful of kind of what you're doing. And while your intentions might be good, or my intentions might be good about taking on these things, the impact that those intentions might leave are something different entirely. So I just wanted to affirm that I really like balance, and I'm stealing it.
Well, you had, what was yours was
mine was intention.
Intention, yeah.
Yeah, intention again.
Which is still kind of part of the balance, I think, is similar.
I agree.
I think that's
they're adjacent.
Still a good ones. Yeah, exactly. I think I have no clue what I said actually, but
I was change.
Change. Okay. Yeah, I felt like that was last year was a year of change. I guess
I think we just added again to all of ours.
Let's change again. How about let's develop the change, I guess, or just kind of accept the change.
Evolve.
I don't know. Evolve
from
with
Charmander
the
to Charmeleon.
I want to be a
Charizard for that one. Well, you have to go through Charmeleon to get there, bro.
No, I want
you can't just use the Firestone and skip an evolutionary step.
You can't do that. Not all the rare candy in the world will allow you to skip that step. Well, I think another thing I wrote down too was rest, and I wrote it twice because I think that's part of the balance is like finding the time to shut down because, as I said, going in, coming even out of or the holidays, it was nonstop. Mm-hmm. And I never really took the time to even just sit back and enjoy this break. We took time off from even meeting or recording, and I feel like none of that happened. Like, I feel like we're coming back now. And while it has been a minute since we've talked or seen each other in this fashion, I feel like, it was just yesterday because I feel like after we got done with our last recording, I was just nonstop. And I got to find ways to build that rest in because I'm not going to lie, I'm tired. I'm getting tired and I got a lot more work to do. So
Patrick's over here writing the other 51. That's a Hamilton reference for all you
I
Hamilton heads.
didn't get that either.
That's okay. Look,
I still haven't seen it.
I'm going to go to a Hamilton trivia contest at our local brewery in a couple of weeks, and
I really want to see it.
And I gotta just listen to the soundtrack.
No, wasn't it on TV too?
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus, yeah.
But I just think the soundtrack in and of itself is so good,
Yeah.
So But yeah, Hamilton is described as nonstop, and I think that there are a lot of parallels. And I know that there are a lot of listeners who are used to the hustle and used to the grind. And I'm just so struck, Patrick. I know because Sarah texted you or messaged you, but we've been watching the latest season of Queer Eye. Also, shout out because it's in Texas, so that's really fun. But it seems like so many of the episodes focus on people who are giving back to the community who forget how to give back to themselves. And I know that when adoptees find the greater adoptee community, it is so warm and welcoming that, like, at least for me, it's like, well, okay, immediately I can't wait to jump in, and I can't wait to start giving and start giving back and all those things. And I think, again, finding the balance of like, how do we interact well with each other in a way that allows us to do this for 40 years and not just 4 months? You know, like, how do we do this in a way that is sustainable and keeps us from flaming out so that we can go the distance is so hard. And that regularly changes from season to season, you know, just depending on how our lives are. And so, yeah, I think that never-ending quest for balance is something. There's a thing that I want to focus on this year, and I'm excited to see what that does for the show, for our relationships, and what the show gets to do for the greater communities and those kinds of things. So, yeah.
I'm still enjoying discovering Denver and everything. I did actually, over the holiday break, meet up with Glenn Morey again.
Oh, that's awesome.
We had dinner and with him and Katie and Laura and Liz, and there was just 4 or 5 of us, I guess. And yeah, we just had a little good conversation. It was actually funny too. And I should bring this this story up, is that we were all sitting there, and we're talking about adoption. We're talking about events and con and things like that. And we're having food and we're just having a good time. And then all of a sudden, this younger girl walked in with 2 Caucasian older parents, and we're immediately all over like, yep. Speaking of adoption. And so it was wild. I mean, we didn't ask, we didn't say anything, but it was kind of like, no, I don't know.
You gave each other the nod.
Yeah, like, that's a nod moment for sure.
Yeah, it is. It was. And so I thought that was really cool. But it was good. It was a good conversation that we all had, and I really enjoy still kind of connecting with the crowd out here, and hoping that that con in June is really big. I think that'll be great to meet a lot more adoptees in the area.
Yeah, I wish I could come. So I'll be on a honeymoon.
Well, hopefully. You got a honeymoon thing. Hopefully.
I mean, there's always a chance that something happens with that, but hopefully
it's not that important.
I don't even care about that.
But on top of the news. Oh, sorry. I was going to say the one thing, I don't know, not to toot our boats, toot our horns.
We don't want to
toot our toots. We don't want to toot our toots too loudly.
Can't not have a new hilarious thing that Nathan has said every episode. Toot our boats.
I just realized that Nathan is kind of the Jerry of the show. I've been rewatching Parks and Rec, and just watched the episode where they work
the Jerry
out, like, the
Gergish. I was like, Jerry.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I thought you were Jerry, our producer.
I'm like, we already have a Jerry.
No, not that Jerry.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, well, how am I like Jerry?
No, I said I was rewatching Parks and Rec. Anyway, so Jerry does this incredible mural, but he says mural.
No.
And the department just gives him so much stick for it.
That's accurate.
Yeah,
it's really an incredible mural too, because I about said mural. Then I would have been the Jerry.
Anyways, but, Nathan, go ahead and
I was gonna say, over the break we didn't really talk about it, but we were in the Korea Daily newspaper in Los Angeles. Ooh. So I don't know if anyone saw that on our Instagram or our feed, though it was all in Korean. I had to go to Google Translate on my Chrome browser to read it, but yeah, that was cool. I enjoyed seeing that. I haven't sent it to my biological family.
Why not?
Yet. I don't know.
Yeah, what the heck, bro?
Should I don't know. I'm hesitant because I don't want them to think I'm taking advantage of my adoption story in a, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
You don't want them to feel like you're exploiting.
Yeah, I don't want to feel like I'm exploiting
tragedy,
our family's history in the way that, I'm talking about it because I feel I have the right to, because it's my story. but at the same time, it's kind of partially their story too. And so I'm still a little
I mean, you're not like
hesitant.
You're not
I don't know
speaking
that
for
you're-
them.
no,
is the
they
thing,
only come
I don't
up-
think.
they come up like less often than even our spouses. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Yeah.
not like you're not just like, oh yeah. And when my family gave me, none of that's happening. You know, like
Yeah.
so I think you're fine.
Yeah.
I think we
So-
can let the listeners decide. Listeners, should Nathan send the Korea Daily article to his family?
Yeah,
In
vote
Korea.
by rating our podcast,
Yes.
or we'll just create a poll.
And then I have to explain how long I've been doing and what it is. So
Wait, what?
I don't even know if I don't even know if any of them listen to podcasts, to be honest. I mean, most
that's-
of my siblings are, in their 50s and up. So not
That
to
would
say
be
that
cool
any-
if we could
not
get
to be
like a-
ageist there, but I'm just saying that I don't know. Maybe they don't listen to American. I mean, obviously they don't listen to American podcasts.
They might be a part of the 0.94% of Korean listeners. So
I want to know now what the Korean podcast
Yeah, Market.
environment is like.
I would be very interested as well, actually.
So somebody tell me. This is some
Does
Korean.
anyone
for you.
listen to a podcast in
안녕하세요.
Korean?
우리 Janchi
Yeah.
Show입니다.
Yeah. Okay.
hi.
Because
We are the Janchi Show.
oh,
Also, it's funny reading the translation because every time it says Janchi Show, it always says Feast Show.
I like
And
that.
I mean,
That's
that
what we
is who
should
we
be.
are. We do call
Yeah.
ourselves the Feasty Boys.
We
Mhm.
do.
So
It's on our group message. That's the title of it. I'm staring right at it. I just want to say, KJ brought up like being intentional about how you connect or are connecting in the community going forward, especially in 2022. And then Nathan, you talked about, having time to meet with Glenn and some other adoptees in Denver. And I will say that was definitely one of the highlights for me, was not just the vigil for Christian Hall, which you can read a little bit more about on my Instagram and the Asian Adoptees of Indiana Instagram. But it was the fact that a group of us were able to go out afterwards for an hour or so and just hang out and have some food. And Katie Gagel was there with us, and Hannah Lee actually drove up 8 hours from Topeka to just attend the vigil. And honestly, one of the happiest moments, I think, of all of 2021 was when I was sitting at the table. I was sitting down by Emily, and everybody else was kind of over on this side. And all of the adoptees were chatting and laughing. And I just remember snapping a picture and just thinking, this was why I set this or wanted to do this here in Indianapolis, was to find and foster and facilitate community locally, because we do that through the show, and we can do that on Instagram or online. And it's been really great. KJ talks about the importance of the digital relationships and communities that we're building and how they can't be easily dismissed. And they can't, because without that, I don't know that we're even able to do not just the vigil, but just have a conversation and have a community feel and go out as a group, because we probably don't find each other. So I just wanted to say that, because I thought it was a lot of fun, and that was one of the moments that I felt like a little like it was almost a refreshing, recharging moment, because it was very life-giving to be in that situation and to see everyone interacting, because the people in our group are age ranges from like 19 to like the mid 40s. And I do want to give a shout out to one of the adoptees. He's been part of the group for quite a while, one of the core people who meets on Sundays. And the Sunday before the vigil, or 2 Sundays before actually, he shared a really personal story with us about his journey with mental health, specifically as an adoptee. And it was so powerful. I told him, I was like, hey, if you feel comfortable enough and safe enough, I would love to have you speak at the vigil. And he emailed me the next day and said he was down. And I will say that he crushed it. He was amazing. And it was really important, because we were supported by the Indie Liberation Center, and they helped do all the logistic stuff and bring like the microphone and the speaker and everything. And they brought out a decent amount of people as well, and who are outside of our community. And I thought for him to get up and share publicly, really in this way for the very first time, just outside on a cold night on a microphone and sharing that experience, especially with people outside of the community, I thought was absolutely the epitome of like bravery and courage when it comes to an adoptee sharing your story. And yeah, just very, very life-giving. And I will say like that one moment definitely made me feel good about where we were going in 2022, which is continuing to do, that stuff locally, like you've been doing, Nathan, in Denver. Yeah. And, KJ, I see you and Jennifer Holcomb Patel and her family, you guys are best friends now. So
yeah, you guys like eat at the same restaurants and everything. So
I don't know if you're just randomly meeting there and there's only so many restaurants
you're stalking
in Dallas
each other
that you go
somehow.
to, but
I don't know. Yeah.
No, one time we did just run into each other. The other time we planned a hangout sesh. So that was fun.
No, I think that's those. I mean, for us to kind of, I don't know, get involved in the communities in our neighborhoods like this, I think is great because we have our little 3-person community here, I guess, that we've been doing for so long.
How dare you exclude the listeners like that, Nathan?
and our listeners and our non-participating listeners as the community.
Wait,
wow.
Sorry.
You're not even listening to us. That would be the level of participation, right?
I guess so.
Yeah. So they're busy driving and or folding laundry or cooking dinner or waking up. I don't know what they're doing.
But yeah, I like that. I like the fact that we are kind of branching out into our own locations and stuff. So yeah, I think that's important, and I regret not doing more of it actually back in LA, where there was probably a fair amount of adoptees. I just didn't know about them. So,
well, what's actually interesting is that while California has a ton of adoptees, kind of just because of like the sheer size of the state, it's not as prevalent as you would think. Like it's really centralized, like in the Midwestern states, and then you kind of get a little out east. But yeah, that's something I've just been learning as I've been doing research for some other stuff. Just that, California can have a large number of adoptees, doesn't necessarily mean they're all congregating in one area, or it's really as easily accessible as you might think. So
yeah,
I just thought that was interesting.
There's a lot of people out there. It's true. But I mean, they do have an AKA out there, but someday we need to have a Janchi live or something out near the Great Lakes. I think that would be fun.
In the Great Lakes? Which one?
Right in the
middle of the Great Lakes.
In the center of Lake Michigan, right?
Right
we'll be out on a boat.
On a big boat.
We'll be on a boat, and we'll be doing a live podcast, just yelling to the people at shore. Then a big storm will rage, and we'll be like, Nathan will be sleeping below decks, and Patrick and I will be freaking out, and we'll be like, no. And then we'll go down below decks and be like, Nathan, why are you sleeping? There's this huge storm. And then Nathan will walk out, and he'll be like, shut up, waves. And then they'll all go down.
Hey, waves, we're about to toot our boats. That's what he's gonna say. Don't make me toot my boat at you.
Yeah, how dare you, waves? That's fine.
That is incredible.
And we're back to our randomness.
Hey,
that wasn't random. I just called you Jesus.
That was a good call. Oh yeah, was that what that was?
Yeah. That's just the Christian mythology, the religious stories that live deep inside my bones coming out.
I feel you. And I was just trying to call back to something earlier in this episode. So
I don't know that I know it's been like 20 minutes, but I don't know that we've like talked about enough to really have callbacks yet.
Yeah, we talked about tooting your own boat.
Besides Patrick's not feeling glam.
But speaking of callbacks, we should have those. I know we discussed this a while ago, having some like listeners not call in necessarily, but send us
listeners should 1,000,000%
like
call in by sending us a voice memo to Janchi Show at justlikemedia.com.
I mean, we could even read, we just got a new review. We could read the new review that...
yeah, we definitely have some business to take care of. So,
all right, all right, fellas, or Janchi Nation, this is business time with the Janchi Boys.
It's business.
However,
it's business time. Take away that review, Nathan.
Oh, it just says, have been a fan since they began. Great convos about identity, race, and adoption. I am thrilled to hear their voices in the adoptee CAD community. 10 out of 10 every time.
Nice. Did they leave us 2 5-star reviews?
They left us a 5-star review on New Year's Eve. So thank you, SSJSTR.
Yep. That is their username. We are
whatever
thankful. Whatever that is.
I was trying to like make it into a word. SJ Stir.
That sounds like a boat that is tooting its own horn.
It's
the SSJ Stir.
Guys in your horns.
Oh my, that was incredible.
But thank you for that, whoever that is.
Yeah. Also, I wanted to give a shout out to Courtney S., who dropped us. She actually became a member on Buy Me a Coffee and wrote, "Thank you very much for creating this podcast as a Korean adoptee. I had no idea how much my soul needed to hear that there are other adoptees out there with similar experiences to my own. Also, thank you for highlighting the achievements of other Korean adoptees and those within the Korean community at large. My life is definitely richer for it." So thank you so much, Courtney, for supporting us, for being a member of our community. That really means the whole world to us.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, if you want to send us a lovely note, and that is not your voice, then please do so by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, because you can write a message, or you can just rate us 5 stars on Spotify, because that's a thing now. Or you can support us at janchishow.com/support and give to us financially.
I know.
Which is really fantastic. No, it's like a mid episode thing.
I get it.
Yeah.
And then at the
it's
end,
a transitional moment where we just say thank you, and if you want to support us financially, that's really important for us.
But you don't have
to. Helping us go the distance, helping us do this for 40 years, and not just. I mean, it's been more than 4 months, but like honestly, with the way time is, it basically feels like we've been doing this for 4 months.
Yeah, we don't know.
But yeah, I mean, for us, like all of the production is in house. Myself and Patrick are the editors, and Nathan does our graphics and all that. So we keep it real close to the chest. We're a small team. Also, shouts out to Katie Gagel, who we're excited to continue to grow and partner with, and see increasingly what our show can be in the new year. Other things that I want to celebrate: I made dokguk again. Ooh. This time for my mother-in-law, who I think was, I don't know that she would ever say this out loud, but she was like mildly hesitant to try Korean food, but then was like pretty into it when she had it. And I was just excited to make it again. I know obviously I can make it more times than just the new year, but this now being my, I think, 3rd time making it, I was like, yo, this is good. Also, like, it finally cooled down in Texas, so it was like a great day for soup. And it was just an exciting thing for me to ring in the new year with.
Do you have to look at the recipe now? Or do you have it locked in?
No, I definitely... Well, I did, because I don't know how to make beef stock off the top of my head. And so you get like... And I also don't know like how much proportions you need for everything. But it's a really simple recipe. So probably I don't need that moving forward. Except for I don't know, you know, like it's like 5 ingredients. So
yeah,
I
just buy that pre-made beef stock, little packets.
Well, Nathan, I'm not as fancy as you.
You should have those at the store, I think. Right? Beef packets.
I don't know. I will say, so I went to Zion Market instead of H Mart to source my materials after I heard about it when we were in LA last. Nathan and I were, and it's great. So if there is a Zion Market near you, which it's not quite as ubiquitous as H Mart, but if there's a Zion Market, you should definitely check it out. It's like the best of like the H Mart, but like with a slightly more, I think, American sensibility, aka the aisles aren't like 4 inches wide. They're like properly spaced aisles, and like you can get around and stuff. So yeah, that's exciting.
Yep. I do like Zion and H Mart. They're both really good.
Did you go to the one in Louisville?
I did, because it's really close to where I live.
Well, the closest one to me is in Duluth, Georgia. So
it's a road trip,
I'll check it on the flip side.
I bought 2 Korean cookbooks for over the holiday.
I did get the Korean vegan cookbook. Thank you for reminding me, even though you weren't doing that.
That wasn't reminding me, but hey, that's good.
Sorry,
we're just living his life.
I think we should have some more. We should have an episode where we all cook something and show everybody each other what we cooked. But yeah, I got the one for the Instapot because somebody talked about it on our after party on Facebook.
Oh, yes.
And so
they made like Instant Pot bulgogi, right?
Yeah, I was really curious about that. And so I was like, Amazon, here I come. So got it. And I haven't cooked anything in it yet, but I love my Instapot. So I am ready. And then I bought my sister one of Munchie's cookbooks, one of her more recent ones. So yeah, hopefully she starts cooking some things. So Amy, if you're listening to this, go cook some Korean food and let me know.
Have a good old fashioned Noak cook-off.
Amy,
Noak Korean cook-off. Okay, before we move to, I feel like this is a good segue for food, but I'm going to go ahead and blow that up. And before we move to
destroy
that,
it.
I want to quickly, because Nathan talked about it as something that we could do on the show, or we're thinking about doing, is cooking more.
We're
and
talking
maybe,
about taxes? Oh.
We're not getting to taxes yet. That's a February
Car
conversation.
insurance. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, how Patrick can pay for his car registration.
Bitcoin. It was buy some Bitcoin.
But I wanted to quickly bring it back because we're talking about community, and KJ, you brought up, not only ways you can support the show, but ways we've been thinking about how we can engage with you, our audience, the listener. And he mentioned the call-in. Like, we would love to hear, whether it be a voicemail or a voice memo or whatever that is. I think one of the ways we had talked about a little bit engaging with you is through this medium, I guess, of the call-in variety. Our solo shows, personally, my favorites. Nothing against our guests, who are incredible. But I really think, we started this show to tell our stories and to share our specific stories. And it just became, a much more communal thing. And I think one of the reasons it was that is because of the response and reception we got from the community and from our listeners who have continued to sustain us and give us that life. And I think something that we've been talking about doing is wanting to answer more of your questions on the air. Is this on the air? I don't care. Answer
it's
more.
Not on the air.
That's true.
It's air-ish.
But just be able to engage with you in a different way and be able to maybe play that clip or at least address whatever, thought process, concern, comments, questions that you might have, so we can continue to not only build what we're doing here on the show, but continue to build that community that we've been working towards and working with and becoming a part of this past year, 2 years almost. How long have we been doing this?
We've been doing this for approximately 72 episodes.
72 episodes.
72 episodes. True.
So minus 3 divided by 52.
So I just wanted to bring that up because I think I love that idea. And I feel like it was just touched on much too briefly. So I just wanted to expand on that and encourage you, if you do have a question and you want to hear your voice on the air without actually being a guest or before you become a guest, let's do it. Let's rock the call in.
Or if you're not a Korean adoptee and you have questions about like how to interact with your Korean adoptee or just adoptee partner, friend, loved one, definitely send us your questions. You can tweet at us, you can DM us, you can email us, you could voice memo us. Voice memos would be great just because it'd be great to have some other voices on the show. But, however you want to do it, we'll do that. We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Yep, and that's me blowing up the segue to the food stuff. So without further ado, I think we should try it out.
Yeah.
The food.
Explosions.
And the voice memos, but also the food.
So which one would you like to try today, guys? What do you want?
I don't know. Let's leave them in suspense.
Okay.
All right, we'll be right back with some whatever KJ's holding up.
Welcome back to the food portion of this mystery item that Patrick put us in suspense for. We knew what we were going to have, but
that was the least suspenseful comeback or reintroduction.
Sorry. Yes, so we have some ginseng candy. Actually, we have a few hard candies here that I wanted you guys to try. The first one is a Korean ginseng candy, which I'm giving you candy and not actually ginseng liquid, because that's what I had for the first time I ever had ginseng. It was like a liquid. It was not the most delicious thing ever. But
Mamos
it's supposedly very healthy.
Company.
So ginseng is a very big, not only a healthy thing that I know a lot of Koreans do, but it's like a very good gift too. You see it in all these stores when you're in Korea, the duty-free shops and stuff. They're selling just tons of liquid and powders and gels and tablets and things.
Well, don't they usually do ginseng in like the little 5-hour shot bottles?
Yeah,
you really find a lot like that.
Well, they almost look like sugar packets, and then you drink this liquid out of it. And I had them almost every day when I was there. When I was meeting my biological family, my oldest sister kept giving them to me. So I'm curious to see if this candy tastes like that, because
homeboy's just over here eating ginseng left and right.
It's like just chewing on some ginseng.
He's just tooting his boat, eating that ginseng.
I don't know. Let's try it. I don't know much about it other than it says this is ginseng candy. And it's got sugar, caramel.
It looks like it has a dragon.
It's got a really gift shop smell.
A gift shops.
A gift shop smell?
Open it and smell it.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be like, this is a gift shop.
That smells like ginseng for sure.
See if my allergies allow me to.
Oh, this was not easy to get open at first.
Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm pretty sure this is it says candy, but my first intuition as I suck on it is cough drop.
Yeah, cough drop. I also have a headache now for some reason. I don't know if that's from the ginseng, but as soon as I put it in my mouth, I felt like my head was starting to hurt. So
it's got menthol in it.
KJ's face. I don't really know how to describe what he's feeling.
I don't really know how to describe what I just put into my mouth hole.
Ginseng.
It is like a cough drop for sure.
Yeah, it's actually like I said.
This is that menthol.
This is a lot sweeter,
drop,
and it's actually tastier than the actual ginseng liquid that I had. But it's still has that ginseng flavor to it with the menthol aftertaste.
I need like a spit bucket.
Well,
clearing my
you need a
sinuses,
spit bucket? I know. I have my trash can right
Yeah.
next to me. I'm about to be all.
Well, if we have to get to the next one, we're not going to leave the listeners on here for 15 minutes while we're finishing our candy.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I need a spit bucket. Not because this is spit
That's
worthy,
not
but just
bad,
so we can
actually.
move on. MoveOn.com.
Yeah.
I mean,
I really like
it's
this.
kind of like a honey. It's
Once I got past the initial, like, what?
You really
it's
like it? You said?
medicinal in a way.
Isn't that doesn't ginseng have like those properties? Isn't that the whole point of like why they drink it and eat it? And
I
use
can't
it so much?
remember. Let's see. Someone fact check me, but I'm pretty sure ginseng had to do with circulation. I thought blood circulation. I could be wrong, but
According to
what is the
Wikipedia, although ginseng has been used in traditional medicine over centuries, modern clinical research is inconclusive about its medical effectiveness. There is no substantial evidence that ginseng is effective for treating any medical condition, and has not been approved by the U.S. FDA as a prescription drug.
Concerns exist when ginseng is used chronically, potentially causing side effects such as headaches, insomnia, and digestive problems.
Okay,
Don't tell me you got a headache from the second you put it in your mouth.
It just said, Wikipedia just said it could give me a headache. And I don't know if there's any more authority on ginseng than Wikipedia. So, no, I don't.
The old Wikipedia.
No, Samos Confectionery Company. I don't know that your ginseng snack gave me a headache. So
I really don't like all these like side effects that it's talking about. But that's, I think, from long term. This is short term, which is just one candy that we put in our mouth. So.
Oh yeah, we have a second candy. Are we moving to that, or are you guys gonna suck on the ginseng a little bit longer? Should I have said sucked on?
I'm still on the research.
Do not overdose.
I thought ginseng came up
because it could.
I
cause
thought we
nausea.
talked about ginseng another time on the show. If that's what you're getting ready to say.
Yeah, 86.
Wow.
Hold on.
Seizures, convulsions, delirium. Where's the positive things? Wait.
Oh, you were really selling this
I know.
ginseng.
I'm gonna
you're
give
looking
you
at
guys.
The Korean Culture Dictionary by Woo-Sung Kang.
Okay, here we go. This is why do Koreans believe Korean ginseng gives mysterious power? The genus name for ginseng, or insam, which is what Koreans call it, nobody cares. As the term suggests, long considered to have. Oh, okay. Just like the flavors of wine, the environmental factors affect ginseng. Okay. Compared to other ginseng grown in China, Canada, and America, Goryeo, an old Korean kingdom. So Goryeo ginseng is the most famous for its superior nutritional and medicinal properties. So American ginseng contains a bunch of stuff, 13 types of this bunch of stuff, but Goryeo ginseng contains 36 types. That's why it's the best quality in the world. Interesting. Is this Goryeo ginseng?
It's red. Is that red?
Oh, yes. Okay, so red ginseng.
Because this is red.
Hongsam. Wait, Hongsam is made by steaming and drying ginseng. Origins, as a result, the color changes to red. Believed to boost your body's immune system. But the medical difference between regular ginseng and this is not clearly identified. Also, the bitter taste of ginseng goes away. So maybe that's why it tastes better than what you had in Korea, is because it has been steamed away.
I don't know. But
So there you go.
I mean, I thought it was healthy. I didn't mind it. I mean, there's a lot of healthy things that don't taste good, right? So it's like,
Yeah, looking at you, apple cider vinegar.
Yeah. But I got you a second candy just so we didn't, just in case, just to have a little bit of a palate cleanser. This one has a cow on it.
I was just about to comment that I really enjoyed the cow.
I know.
Isn't it cute? Lotte's got a good branding.
Yeah, they do.
They got good branding.
It's very cute. Although the main package was really weird, if you guys can see that. It looks like 2 white beans floating on a cloud. And the flavor is milk.
This is squishy.
It's squishy?
Well, semi-squish.
It is. It's not.
If there's cold liquid in here,
interesting.
I'm freaking out.
I don't know what any of this
looks like
means.
gum. It looks like a big thing of gum.
I assume it's a milk candy, which is like they're kind of. Well, Patrick, you're not big on dairy, right?
I mean, I'll eat ice cream. Does that count?
Yeah, but talk to me about Milkus.
Oh God, I didn't. It was literally just the way it looked. And it was
okay. Talking to me about banana milk.
That is not what I thought it was.
Yeah, the banana milk, I'm hit or miss on. You said this was a palate cleanser, and your face is telling me that it is not.
Milk candy, Malang cow candy, milk flavor by Lotte. What the heck?
Sarah just tried the ginseng candy.
Uh-oh. You're on camera now. You can't use the spit bucket. What are your thoughts?
It tastes like I'm eating a really clean foot.
It tastes like you're eating a really clean foot.
I agree.
Yeah, like one that has been properly massaged and lotioned.
Wow.
So post pedicure foot.
Yes.
Wow.
All right.
Well, then.
I'm here for it.
Well, at least it's clean.
She did not enjoy
okay. Wow. Okay, no, but try one of these now.
What? And tell me which one do you think
What do you
is
mean
better?
you already tried one of these?
Tried it like a week ago.
Okay.
At
Literally.
first,
I like that I could hear that.
this milk candy that is not what I expected. And at first, I was like, no, I'm not going to like this.
Better
But
than
as
the
I'm
ginseng.
chewing on it and finishing it, I'm like, it actually wasn't bad.
I actually kind
show
of
me
forgot
the-
it was in my mouth and I swallowed
Show
it.
me the package. Arang Cow. Arang Cow? Wait, his name is just Alan Cow?
Malang
Nice.
cow candy is what it's called. Yeah. I like how there's at the top of the package here, over on the other side, it says upgrade project. I have no clue why it says that.
Oh, that's M. Mal.
Malang.
Malang.
Malang cow.
Yeah, what the heck is
candy.
Malang Cow?
I totally thought it was a hard candy, so I fooled us
Okay.
all.
So here's the weird thing. Maybe it's because I didn't properly cleanse my palate between these two candies, so I'm gonna have a second one. But the first time I had this cow candy, it tasted like Patrick described. No, sorry, that Sarah described, where it was a really clean foot.
The cow candy tasted like that?
Yes,
I wish I was the one that used that
So,
descriptor.
I'm gonna try this. Well, she's a
I
professional
think
copywriter.
it just tastes like a solid Milkus.
It's not
But
bad.
not a.
Like
It's not bad. I've had worse candies for sure.
the chewy part was a little odd at first, but then I'm thinking of it more like a milk Laffy Taffy kind of.
Yeah, but there's like a marshmallowiness to it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Literally nothing can be worse than the roasted chestnuts. The roasted chestnuts.
I'm gonna get you
Yeah.
a chestnut candy next. Maybe they
I'll
have
give you a
that.
chestnut candy.
Thanks. I'll pass.
You know that I won't because I'm terrible at sending gifts. So
Yeah.
just no, I'm not kidding. All right. Well, are we doing this as a combined rating or are we going to rate each?
Rate
separately?
them separate.
All right. How many ginsengs are you giving the Korean ginseng candy,
Mm.
Nathan?
Well, I mean, I knew what ginseng tasted like, so I wasn't too offended by it. I think it was just exactly what it was meant to be. So, am I going to take it frequently? Probably not. So I'll give it a 3 out of 5. If I have a sore throat and a cough, I think that might have been pretty good. So,
All right. How many cows for the cow candy?
and the cow candy, although it surprised me because of the softness of it, I expected it to be a hard, milky candy, and it was more of like a soft, hard, stale marshmallow, like KJ said. But the flavor
Sure.
was still pretty good. I'll give that one a 3.5 out of 5.
All right. Not bad. KJ?
Okay, so I am dropping in after the fact.
Oh, dang.
Ooh.
And I am recording my rating afterwards because we lost the audio. But I'm pretty sure I gave it like a 4.5 for the ginseng, honestly. I ended up really liking it. And in fact, while I'm doing the edit, I am eating it.
Okay, that's
again.
making me like it worse or less.
So yeah. And then for the candy, the other candy, that one, not as good. I think it was like a 3, honestly. I didn't really like it that much. I didn't like the fake hard candy. I wish it would have just been like a regular milk candy, but since it's not, it's really messing with me, and I didn't like the flavor all that much. So that is what I'm giving those 2 candies.
All right, 1 second. Okay, so the ginseng I'm giving a 2.5. I did not care for it. It was too cough drop like, and I'm really gonna go ahead and attribute the mild headache that I received right as I put it in my mouth to the fact that ginseng, a side effect, is potentially headaches. And then I'm giving giving the cow candy 3 cows. I think similar to what you both said. I think that did taste like a stale marshmallow, and I didn't care for that. And I think there's just there's a few things missing, and I can't pinpoint exactly what's missing out of it. But the staleness is something I could do without. So I think just getting rid of that bumps it up a little bit.
Yeah, pick a side, right? Either be a taffy or a hard candy.
Yeah.
Don't be in the middle.
Exactly. Well, I guess that's it for our first episode back of 2022.
2022, not 20 also.
Nathan, if they want to, KJ already talked about it a little bit. If they want to find us, support us, how do they do that?
You can email us at Janchi Show at Just Like Media. You can go to our Janchi Show at all platforms, and of course Facebook, the After Party, Janchi After Party. Come join us there. Janchi.com, JanchiShow.com, actually. If you want to, go to our website.
Okay, so apparently I decided to interrupt Nathan here and give out just our personal handles or whatever, but whatever. You can find me if you want to reach out to me at KJ Relke, wherever I want to be found.
I'm N. Nowak.
And I'm Patrick in the world with the @ symbol in the front, because that's how handles work.
And that is it for this week's episode of the Janchi Show. Until next week, Janchi Heyo.
Hey, bye!